Feels good not to wear glasses, although everything's just a little bit blurry and I find myself doing this a lot. But my eyes need a break every once in a while. So today's the day that we're going to do something new with the Tahoe. So because this is a 2021, they don't really make any aftermarket lowering or lift kits for these trucks yet. But if you want, you can still lower your truck technically, and there's a way around it. So I guess the manufacturers maybe didn't do as much R&D or haven't done R&D at all yet. But there's actually a part on the market that will work with the 2021 Tahoe to lower it about 2 inches all the way around, maybe 2.5. And we're going to do that to the Tahoe. So we've got this part ordered and it's sitting here on my toolbox, and it's a lowering spring kit for the front of the Tahoe. And then to lower the rear, we're actually going to take the front springs that are stock on the Tahoe and put them on the rear, and that will actually cause it to lower. So pretty cool. And it ends up costing like $200 to lower this Tahoe 2 inches all the way around. So we're going to get started. I've got the box here on the toolbox. I'll show you guys. This is a Beltec 12462 lowering spring set. And this is for the front end of, it says 7 to 10 Tahoe Yukon Suburban, Yukon XL. So this cost $160 something off of Summit, or you can get it from Beltec's website. And I think shipped and everything, tax, it was like $190 something to my door. So $190 and a little bit of labor, and you can have a lowered 2021 Tahoe. You can't go wrong with that. All right, we're gonna pop this kit open and see what all it comes with here. Looks like the best way to open this up is probably cut these straps on the bottom. Just like off. Let's go. Look at that, a bunch of cardboard. All right, so you got these spacer packs that it comes with. And each of these is a 1/2 inch. So you can actually put these in and make it a 1 inch lowering kit instead of a 2 inch, but we're not gonna do that. We want 2 inches, possibly 3 inches. Hopefully this thing lowers it more, because it's recommended or designed for the older body style. When they say 2 inches on the older body style, I don't really know exactly what it's gonna do to the newer body style, but we're gonna find out. So this looks like a perch, or maybe this may be the adapter for the adaptive air ride. New bump stop, Beltec bump stop. Over here, and then the cool springs themselves. Right, those are heavy. There we go. Looks like they're nice and powder coated. My goodness, why is it that hard? There we go. And then we got instructions. This kit gives you the option of a 2 inch drop, spring only, or use of the spacers to reduce the drop to 1.5 inches or 1 inch only. Cool. Where are you at, Beltec? You can't throw a brother a sticker or something? That's okay. I got one right here. I think I may have another one somewhere too. Yep, right there. Beltec. On the tape measure. There we go. Front wheel well from the ground right at 38 inches. Rear 38 inches. So this truck's perfectly level as it sits. which I find hard to believe, but it may be my driveway, so we're gonna measure this side too. 38 3/8. 37 3/4. So that's probably a more realistic number, but I'm guessing my driveway has something to do with it. But either way, we're hovering all over 38 inches all the way around. Truck's jacked up. Got one of the wheels off. So now you can see what we're going to do to lower this is we're actually going to replace this spring right here with a lowering spring. So to do that, we got to take these two bolts off. There's 3 bolts in the very top of this that hold the top section of this off. I think we've got to take this end link off, maybe. Just depends on how much room we got. We're going to try to do it without first, but then if we need to, we'll take it off. Okay, we got the lower bolts off. You can see these two right here. So now the strut doesn't move a lot, but you can see it's got some wobble to it now. So now we're on to the 3 top bolts. We got the 2 out, and now the 3rd one on top. You're going to need a deep well 18mm socket, and you're going to need to get down in the engine bay to get that one out. You just don't have the accessibility inside of here to get to it. So the whole thing's loose now, but it looks like to be able to compress or lower this assembly enough to get this out, I'm going to have to take loose the sway bar. So hopefully I can just pull the bottom link out right here and get that low enough, but if not, I'll have to take the whole thing apart. Man, what a fight that was. That was intense to get that out. But it's out now. That's all that matters. I just had to loosen that end link a little bit. Didn't have to fully take it apart. Now what we got to do, pull this end nut off here, compress this a little bit to relieve the tension, and then we can pull that off and put the lowering spring on. All right, now we want to separate this top piece from the strut. So you have to pull this little black piece off of here and then get a pair of vice grips, clamp that so it doesn't spin, and then use your wrench on this nut here. Now you want to be careful and compress the spring when we do this. It'll unthread some, but there's a lot of tension under there, so you want to make sure and compress the spring with clamps so that it doesn't pop on you, because if it pops, those things come off with a lot of force and it will definitely injure you. All right, we've got everything separated. Stock spring right here. We got the top perch, rubber boot, and factory bump stop right there. There you go, we got it trimmed. Now you can see it fits right down. I wasn't even talking to you. What? Google's going crazy today. So now it fits right down in there nicely. So now while we got the truck up, we're going to go ahead and start on the other side. This one will be a little bit easier to get to the tops of these bolts. I don't know why the other one, I guess, had a wiring harness running through it. So we'll start again with the bottom here of the strut. Both sides out. I will say that that side went a lot quicker than that side did. So now we've got our spring compressor. I took the first one apart with the ratchet straps. That was a mistake. I sent my wife to the store to buy some spring compressors. Probably gonna end up buying a pair of those pretty soon. But now we can start reassembling, because now that the spring is unloaded, it's a lot taller than what will fit and allow me to get the nut started. Man, that thing comes in handy. All right, we got the first strut completely put back together. You can see the stock one over here versus the lowered one. And now all we gotta do is swap this one out, and then we can put the entire front of the truck back together and get started on the rear. All right, final front spring is off. Now we got the new spring compressed. We're gonna start reassembling the strut here. All All right. So first thing we'll put, I'm gonna set this over here so you can actually see what's going on. First thing we'll put the spring on. Oh. All right. Now this little boot here goes on. You can see there's a little notch there, so that it lines up right. Now I'll put the bump stop on upside down, the big side on the top. And then take our cup. Same thing, it lines up with the little sleeve that we put on earlier. This is kind of a pain here. You got to really play with this to get it lined up. There we go. Just like that. Now we just got to compress it a little more so that we can get some of these threads on. As you can see, it doesn't really have all the threads exposed that it needs. So we're going to run this down a little bit more and then we can put our nut on. The whole assembly's put together and tightened. Now we can run these compressors back off. You want to do it a little bit on each side so that it unloads evenly. There we go. All right, both sides off. Now we just got to put the front back together. Oh, trying to put this massive thing back on. All right, so front is completely done. Both wheels and tires on, torqued, all the bolts tightened. And now we're gonna sit it down. I'm not gonna take a measurement yet because I wanna get the back done. And then to be honest, I wanna drive it around the block, let it settle a little bit before we take a measurement. But everything fit really good. Can't even tell, like there's nothing was really tight or awkward or anything. It was like I was putting the original spring right back on it. So hopefully the back goes just as smooth, but we're about to find out. We're working on the back right now. Same thing, we got a strut set up. So top 3 bolts got to come off. And we got 2 bolts on the bottom, or actually 1 bolt through it this time instead of the 2 bolts. Then we can pull this strut off and start taking them apart. We got Jimmy over here rocking out this one. Is it working?
Yeah.
You got all 3 of them?
Got 2 off.
Nice. Dude brought every tool you can think of except for an 18mm wrench. Lord knows I don't have one. All right, we're gonna get back to it. All right, we got both rear struts off. And I don't know if it's longer. It's the same, I guess. You see how tightly this is wound? Oh, there's a spacer in there too or something. I'm guessing the front one just has a softer spring rate, maybe?
It's extra cool. And yeah, this is a thinner spring.
Yeah, definitely a thinner spring. Okay. Well, that makes sense then.
And we're gonna race.
And we're gonna race.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not even gonna try with that thing. I'm just gonna let you do it. These little things right here, you know how much these cost me to rent?
Yeah.
$70.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
All right, let's do it.
Ow.
Let's compare those. Oh wow, dude, that's
Oh, holy cow.
that's a massive difference there.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a whole extra thread. So there's the reason it drops it so much.
Oh, man.
And I'm actually cool if it drops it a little more than 2 inches because it was kind of raked to begin with. Yeah.
So you're gonna have this thing squatted.
Now I got to drive around like.
Yeah.
All right, I think we should probably put this back on there. Whatever this.
It may not go on.
What's the purpose of it? That's what I don't know.
If these, because these coils are so close together, whenever they
keeps it from making noise or whatever.
Yeah, it keeps the coils from hitting and making a noise. But
Okay.
these are so far apart.
Sorry.
I don't use them.
All right, cool. You want to compress that one, and then short bump stop. So what we did, we took the front factory bump stop and replaced the rear with it. You see the rear bump stop's a lot taller because it obviously had a longer spring in it. So we'll just take that out, take the factory front one, put it in its place, and now we should have the extra travel we need. You can hold that. Wait. The universal
yes.
Don't hurt me symbol. Do you want to lay it over?
No, you're good. Good.
All right, so that goes on, and then new bump stop. Oh yeah, dude, look at this. We compressed it too much.
Yeah, we'll have to let all of the tension
Let me put the nut on there. Actually, let's go ahead and let some tension out of it a little bit, just so it's fitting in where it needs. A little more, because I still got to make, yeah, see. Right there, all right.
That's all of it. Because you don't need it.
Oh, wow. I guess because it's shorter. One down, one to go. Let's go down. I'm in. Yep. Go ahead and lock yours. I got it.
It'll.
There we go.
If you just hold a little bit of pressure on it.
That safety pin. No, it's not the safety pin.
It's not on.
Hold on, I got you. Watch out. There we go. All right, the final hour. Everything's ready to go back together. Jimmy's already putting his strut on over here. Is it fitting right? Oh, do you need my hand? Oh, you got it.
Got it.
There you go, look at that. We had to end up taking the lower control arm off because once we loosened the strut, it actually wouldn't come out of the little socket it's in. So we took loose this bolt right here on the lower control arm so we could swing this down and get the spring out. All right, rear strut's completely in. Everything's all bolted back up. And as usual, Jimmy's ahead of me. Putting the wheels back on. We're gonna set it on the ground, and I'm not gonna show you guys what it looks like until tomorrow because I'm going to take a shower and then I'll drive it around the block and let it settle a little bit, and then we'll measure it in the morning. All right, as promised, it's the next morning, and it looks pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie. So here we go. Completely lowered, 2 inches all the way around. Well, I'll say 2 inches. That's the concept was it's a 2-inch front lowering, and then I put the front on the back. We're going to actually measure here in a second and see how much it actually lowered it. But it looks really good. That exhaust, so sick. I actually got some better pictures I'll throw up right here. Went to a parking lot, did a quick photo shoot just so we could capture how low it is. It's kind of hard to do in my driveway. So now we get a tape measure and let's see how low it actually got. So the back of the truck was 38 1/4 and the front was 38. Now that's factory, but at the same time it has 26s. So it's probably a little taller than normal for a factory Tahoe. So 38 1/4, 38. Now we're gonna see what we got. So the back now is sitting at 36 inches. So that means it lowered it 2 1/4 inches in the back. And then the front was at 38. The front is now 35 1/2. So it lowered it 2 1/2 inches in the front. So 2 1/2 and 2 1/4 inches for $200 on a 2021 Tahoe. And to recap, Beltec front lowering springs from I think it's 2009 to 2019 two-wheel drive Tahoe. And then the rear springs are actually the stock 2021 springs that we took off. We put them on the rear and that brought it down. So pretty crazy. $200 total spent. The Beltec part number, Leaman, do you remember the part number? Of course you don't. I don't think you ever knew it. Beltec part number is, let's see if they even put it in the manual here. 12462. Beltec 12462. basically a 2.5-inch drop for your 2021 Tahoe. Now, I'm not sure if this will work on 4-wheel drives because mine's a 2-wheel drive, but I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty stoked. So go out and get yours today if you want to lower your Tahoe, and tell them Leaman sent you. Maybe they'll sponsor me sometime.